Back-to-back games with back-to-back wins. I have to say, I thought for sure the Bulls were going to struggle a bit in this one. Not that I thought they were going to lose the game, because after that embarrassing loss in Houston when the Rockets were on a 15-game losing streak, I knew that the Bulls would come out with a sense of revenge and urgency in this one. But because they had just played last night in a hard-fought battle against the Lakers, and the fact that the Bulls only had 10 players, actually I should rephrase, 11 players dressed up to play tonight, with all of those guys out due to the health and safety protocol, as well as the injuries to Derrick Jones Jr. So I thought it was actually going to be a closer game, or a more competitive game at least, but the Bulls came out hot in this one, kicking it off with a 9-0 run and never lost the lead from there, and really maintained a large lead throughout this one. With the back-to-back wins, the Bulls are now 19-10, maintaining that second seed in the East. So what's going on, everyone? You are listening to Bulls Central here. Hope you're all doing well. Guys, because it is the holidays, we've got Christmas right around the corner. What better time than to give you and your loved ones something nice, especially to those who are Bulls fans. And lucky for you guys, benchmob.com has been kind enough to not only sponsor this video, they're also giving an exclusive offer to the listeners of this channel. They're giving you 20% off your offer when you use the code BullsCentral20, all one word. Support the return of the Bulls. Benchmob, support the team and the city. Check out all of the great gear at benchmob.com. I've got some gear myself and it is incredible. The link to the site and the discount code can be found in the description. But anyway, let's talk about this game. So as I mentioned, the Bulls came out firing on all cylinders to start this one and didn't mess around. They knew this was a game that they were supposed to win, despite still having guys out due to the health and safety protocol. They knew that losing to the Rockets in Houston was unacceptable, and the tone was set right away with that first play after the tip-off with Javonte Green when he took off to the hoop for that two-handed jam. I seriously love that guy's hustle so much. His contributions and what he brings to the team is so underrated, and it makes that trade with the Celtics, in which they shipped Luke Kornet for him and Daniel Tice, that much more worth it, even though we weren't able to keep Tice. Speaking of Tice, that guy just really has not worked out well in Houston, with that contract they just gave him, for which the Bulls were unwilling to match, to now falling out of the rotation. He was a DMP in tonight's game. But really, I think the keys to this game that led to the victory for the Bulls, among other things, was the bench and how well they showed up, especially in terms of their scoring compared to what we saw in last night's game. The Bulls also played with incredible pace and ball movement, which led to 33 total assists for the team. Again, whenever the Bulls put up 30 or more assists, so far this season anyway, they are undefeated. And then finally, they did an excellent job yet again at taking care of the ball, only committing 8 turnovers all game, while the Rockets gave up 14. Oh, and the Bulls' shooting was great, much better than last night. Tonight, they were 53% from the field and 45% from three. Like, I know it's the Rockets, but you would have never guessed that this was the second game of a back-to-back for the Bulls based on the level of energy, focus, and efficiency for which they played. DeRozan had yet another great outing on incredible efficiency, putting up 26 points on 11 for 18 shooting to go along with 6 assists. You know, we're starting to see more of that playmaker that we saw from DeRozan and what he became last season when he was with the Spurs. He's been a very effective player with his passing and court vision as of late. We didn't necessarily see as much of that to start the season anyway. Vucevic, another solid game for him tonight. Again, the thing with Vuce this season is his consistency, because he'll have a couple of good stretches of games and then he'll just bomb for a few straight games. So hopefully this is a trend in the positive direction to where you see Vucevic playing a little more consistently. He didn't rebound the ball all that well. He did let Christian Wood kind of have his way with him in terms of crashing the boards, but he still managed to snag 6 rebounds and score 18 points, shooting 8 for 18 to go along with 4 assists and 2 blocks. And then how about Lonzo Ball tonight? This was one of his better games of the season, because not only was he shooting it well from outside, by the way, he continues to be the Bulls' best three-point shooter, but he actually was also making drives and plays to the basket, which I've really wanted to see from Lonzo more often, because he has the quickness and the ball handling to do so. I would much prefer to see a more well-rounded Lonzo Ball, who is also a dribble drive threat, rather than just an outside shooting threat. But aside from his 19 points, 8 assists, and 5 rebounds, he was ridiculous on the defensive end, using that length to get in the way of passing lanes. And with Caruso needing to leave due to an injury, only getting 6 minutes of play, Lonzo was the cookie monster tonight. He got to feast by snatching up 5 steals in this one. Lonzo led the team in box plus minus with plus 17. He was very impactful tonight on both ends of the floor, and it's just what the Bulls needed after a lackluster performance that they had the last time they faced the Houston Rockets. Then how about the bench tonight? Yet another reason why you should go and buy some bench mob gear. The Bulls bench in total, which, mind you, this isn't even the Bulls' real bench. Some of these guys are playing on 10-day or 2-way contracts, but the Bulls bench tonight scored 66 points in total of the 133 points that the Bulls scored, led by Coby White, who was just awesome tonight. Again, need to see Coby do this consistently. That's been his biggest criticism since he entered the league, but we're not here to talk about the cons of Coby White. He played a great game tonight, did his job being the scoring spark off of the bench, putting up 24 points on 7 for 15 shooting, 5 for 9 from 3 to go along with 5 rebounds. And he actually looked decent on defense tonight, which was great to see. And then how about the Bulls' 10-day contract pickup in Alfonso McKinney? I'm kind of starting to see why Billy Donovan is giving him so much run on the court. The dude is a hustler, and he's a smart player in terms of his overall shot selection. He scored 16 points tonight on 6 for 10 shooting and 4 for 6 from 3. I didn't really know he could hit threes like that. And really, every guy off the bench got involved tonight. The Bulls, their other two-way player, Tyler Cook, had a good showing, getting to the foul line, being aggressive. He had 11 points. Tony Bradley was great off the bench. Dodson was looking nice as well with some of his moves that he was making. Even your boy Marko Simonovic put up some points with a couple of free throws. It's not every day that you can say every guy on the roster scored in a game. That is just incredible. Well, actually, I guess Caruso didn't score, but we'll pretend we didn't see that since he got injured. By the way, hope Caruso is okay. That would be another blow to the Bulls if Caruso had to miss more time, especially with all the other guys being out. But we'll have to wait and see and hear more on that as updates start coming in. One final comment, though. Christian Wood. Can't say enough how much I would love having him on this Bulls team, just to give them that added size, scoring, rebounding, and rim protection. If you guys caught my video on what it would be like for the Bulls to go all in this season, I had trading for Christian Wood being a part of that transaction. A lot of you guys thought I was absolutely nuts for how much I was offering in a proposed trade package for Christian Wood, which was Coby White, Patrick Williams, a first-round pick, and a second-round pick. And let me be very clear on that one, because I think most people missed that. I 100% agree that it is way too much for Christian Wood. But that is what the Rockets are going to want in a trade package for their best player, who is on a very team-friendly contract and in his prime. Like, for a team that is in rebuild mode, you have to give up a lot of young assets for their best player. Does that mean that it's worth it for the Bulls? No, and I certainly don't think it makes sense for the Bulls to give up on Patrick Williams, but the Rockets are going to not just let Christian Wood go for anything, and they're likely going to get some attractive offers from around the league, so it has to be a proposal that is enticing enough if the Bulls were to actually be able to snag him. Anyway, guys, a great win for the Bulls. Keep stacking those wins and holding up the fort while the rest of the guys clear protocol. The Bulls are off tomorrow, and then we'll take on the Raptors on Wednesday. I've got a mailbag video coming out tomorrow. I'll be announcing my jersey giveaway, so you don't want to miss out on that. In the meantime, as always, be sure to subscribe if you're a Bulls fan, as I do post daily Bulls content. Thanks again for tuning in, guys, and I will catch you in the next one.